fantastic. Let me throw it open for you all. If you have any questions you want to bounce off these guys, they're very candid, very open, so feel free to do it. Just raise your hand or shout out. Nobody? Wow. Okay. Question is, what can the small business community in San Diego do to help other small businesses? Any response?
Yeah, I think events like this, you know, encouraging people that are starting up to learn from other people's stories, to know that their ideas can turn into something of value, that their idea can go from just an idea to fruition. I think that so much of when you first start off is inspiration. You know, feeling like, okay, there's someone else that was able to do this, and you know, we all have different paths, but we all made it to where we are through a lot of hard work and some good connections and everything. But none of us are so extraordinary that anyone else in this room could do the exact same thing. And I think that that's an important message that you know, that can be conveyed to people that are starting businesses, and whether that's done in an environment like this, where you can meet other people that are in business, or you know, other types of networking type of organizations. I think 6 Degrees is a great forum to do that kind of sharing of ideas, and I think that's really the most important sense of, you know, that connection, that bond, the community that, you know, we've been talking about, and just knowing that you can do it. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but you can do it.
I was going to say just work with GreenRope. I don't know, I think it depends on the business. I think there's different ones that are national, like Stephen works with a lot of independent musicians, where StayClassy, I think, works with a lot more nonprofits that could really be tied to local. I think it would be helpful. A lot of us all know each other, but it's funny when we get out into the other networking world, we really don't sometimes. We don't know who all the small business leaders are, or who's running the chamber, who's running, like, you know, the gas lamp organization for restaurants, and, you know, we'd love to connect with those guys. You know, for example, like, we think Groupon, even though we're in the daily deal space, we think Groupon takes a lot more money from small businesses than we think. So we're actually launching a thing called Take Back Local, where it's an anti-Groupon campaign. So you may see some of this in June. It may get us in a lot of trouble. But we want to, like, help those businesses control their own marketing and make more money, because we think selling gift certificates is a good business, but they need to make it profitable. They can't just be taken advantage of by these big national companies. And so we're trying to get empowered. I think mobile's a really good model for businesses, and as the businesses care about actually building something of value, like Lars says, I think we can add a lot of value to these small businesses, help them bring new customers, you know, and really all of us can do that in some way. So we'd love to connect with those leaders if you have some ideas for us.
The small business community in San Diego. So I know that the Bay Area seems to be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to that, with specifically law firms, insurance, and as well as capital. They're always putting on events, and of course, the more that they engender this ecosystem, the more it helps their own business. So I think that's something that can be done. So if any of you folks are out there, we'd love to attend your events when you put them on. But what it does is it helps build not only just the entire kind of belief system around what we're doing, but there are people in this room specifically that I've even talked to where they're like, wow, I don't know if I'm doing it the right way, or sometimes I feel like I'm alone out here by myself. And events like this help people feel like you are not the only one going through this. In fact, there's a bunch of other people, and that helps build the camaraderie amongst that. But definitely groups and some of those professional services, I think I'd love to see even more of that. They're doing a pretty good job, and I'd love to even see bump it up even more.
Yeah, I would just add, maybe get involved with the local incubators. So one thing for us was going through Connect. We got a lot of great advice, but the advisors that we were placed with weren't necessarily the most relevant for what we were doing. And it would have been great if maybe we could have tapped into a more relevant network right away and sped up the process of learning about the nonprofit community, et cetera, in town and in other areas. So maybe just getting involved with Connect or several of the other incubators that have started, and becoming a mentor, entrepreneur in residence, or something like that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good ones that are out there. I mentioned ComNexus, EvoNexus. Those are great programs we should explore. Matt?